Thank you for joining me here for part 3 of my handle making project, where I craft a ferro rod handle from scratch using just knives. And of course a carving hatchet. And a drill too. So first things first, I am going to strop my carving knives. In the last video, you would have seen me take my handle blank with my carving hatchet, shape it into a rough shape with some rough facets. And now at the knife carving stage, I'm going to take those rough facets, smooth them out, get some nice lines established. So these are my leather strops that you'll see me using here. I made them a few years back. The first one that you just saw was suede with fine honing compound, and the second one here is just smooth leather. I do about 26 passes per strop. Always a good habit to have to strop before you start any carving project, whether it's your knife or your axe. And if it's still not shaving sharp at that point, do take it to your preferred method of sharpening, because it'll make your project run a lot smoother if your knife is razor sharp. Now typically at this stage, you'll be sitting down in a chair or a stool, relaxed. Ideally you'd have your back straight so that you're nice and comfortable for a little bit of long-term carving, but I am doing this from a demonstrative position, so I'm actually holding it in front of the camera so that you can just see the knife work and nothing else. So what you'll see me doing is a lot of push cuts and a lot of what I like to call fulcrum cuts. You'll see these a bit later, where I'll actually use one of my fingers or my thumb to brace, and then I'll do a pivot motion down. Usually it'd be a chest pull grip, where I would brace it into my sternum and pull towards my chest. And I usually have a leather apron that I'm wearing right across my chest to prevent me from getting any bruising or cuts, or from cutting my shirts. And as my wife will tell you, pretty much every one of my t-shirts has holes all over it. So having a good leather apron, or a bodger's bib as they're called, is always a great idea. So what you'll see me do is smooth out the 4 main sides and then do the sides in between those. I'll check it for straightness and flatness each and every time to ensure that everything is looking good and symmetrical. And here's where you'll see me do my finger fulcrum pull grip. So let me try to explain how this works. With my right hand, which is my dominant hand, I'm pushing the carving knife up towards my middle finger on my left hand. So I'm pushing it towards my middle finger on my non-dominant hand, and I'm using that finger to control the carving strokes. It's a really great way, I find, to get a controlled power stroke, especially with a small area or a small item, or when you're not able to do a chest pull grip. Now that I have it close to a finished item, just checking for symmetry and straightness. There will be further refinement later, but since I'm pretty happy with this as is, I'm going to take it to the drill so that I can make a hole for the lanyard. Using my bench clamp once more, keeping the handle secure so that I can drill the hole. I'm not tightening the clamp too much on the piece because it will actually leave marks in it. It's just tight enough so that it won't move while I drill my hole. But I will be doing a little bit more knife work anyway, so it's okay if there's a few marks on it. As I've stated before, this bench clamp is super handy for me. With this pair of scissors, I'm pre-drilling a hole, just marking it so that the drill bit doesn't slide around when I'm using it. I'm sure there's a better method or tool for this, but hey, if it works, it works. So let's drill. And I absolutely want to make sure I drill straight so I don't ruin my piece. Success. I didn't ruin it. Hole went straight through, nice and clean. You can see it fits in between both facets nicely. And that is a relief. Back to some knife work and some final refinement. I'm also going to do some slight chamfers around the drill hole just to get it nice and smooth and have none of those little splinters sticking up. So within this little hole, it's important to follow grain direction or else it will chip and flake off. So it's tricky to explain, but you'll see me come down towards the center and then do the same for the other side. And I apologize for the camera angle here. At this point, I was more focused on carving properly than having a good camera angle. Now, I don't need to do too much in these little holes because I'm just cleaning up those splinters, making it look clean. I don't want to go too deep. And now to clean up the very end of the piece and get those pen marks off. I don't want to take off too much material, just a little shave here. Now this is end grain, so it can be a little tricky to carve. Having a really sharp knife definitely helps. And now I'll be chamfering the edges to give it a nice, clean, professional look. And now just to test fit the lanyard cord, this is a old bit of leather that came from the previous handle. It's quite old and beat up, but I think it's cool to take a little something from the previous handle and bring it to the new piece, and hopefully and ideally elevating it with the work that I've done here. So this is actually it for the knife carving stage on the handle itself. In my next video, you'll actually see me carve a wooden bead or a toggle for the lanyard. And it will be one of my totem heads. So it's actually going to be a full totem head carving tutorial, which I'm very excited to share. So thank you for watching. Keep a lookout for the rest of the videos in this series. There will be 2 more before it's complete. Be sure to take care of yourselves out there, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more videos.